All right, so ever feel like your kid is doing that thing, you know? The one that makes you wonder if you got the only 4-year-old on earth who does that.
I think every parent has those moments.
Right, and you're just like, help me, somebody, anybody. Well, today's deep dive, it's kind of like looking for that help in an unexpected place. The Bible.
Interesting. Finding parenting advice in ancient scriptures. That's a unique angle.
Exactly. We're talking about finding the humor in those moments, but with a biblical twist. I mean, they had kids back then, right? They must TVE had some of the same struggles.
That's a safe bet. Parenting at its core probably hasn't changed all that much over the centuries, even if the technology and cultural context have.
Right. Like those scrolls probably won't tell you how to handle a meltdown over screen time.
Though now that you mention it, there's probably a parable about coveting your neighbor's ox that could be reworked.
Haha, exactly. But seriously, it's about finding that common ground, that shared experience of parenthood across thousands of years. And maybe, just maybe, having a little laugh about it along the way.
It's about recognizing that no matter how different things seem on the surface, human nature, especially when it comes to kids, has a remarkable way of staying consistent.
So true. Okay, so picture this. Your teenager, constantly asking for the latest gadget, the newest clothes. Doesn't that feel kind of like negotiating with Pharaoh? You know, let my people go, but for, like, a new phone instead of freedom.
That is a fantastic analogy, and that's part of what makes it funny, taking something familiar, even mundane, like a teenager obsessed with the newest thing.
Which, let's be honest, is every teenager.
Precisely. And putting it alongside something so unexpected, so grand in comparison, it makes you see the humor in the everyday.
Yes, that way they dealt with this too, feeling like suddenly those biblical figures become way more relatable.
And it's not just about the big dramatic stuff either. Sometimes it's the little things, the day-to-day chaos that really drives you crazy as a parent.
Oh, tell me about it. I swear, some days it's like herding cats, only the cats are toddlers and they all want to run in opposite directions.
You just reminded me of Jacob and all those sheep. Imagine that, but with toddlers instead. Suddenly it's not an ancient story, it's your Tuesday afternoon.
Right. Or, I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but I swear the other day, my kid tried to convince me his stuffed bear needed its own seat at dinner.
Oh, the negotiating skills of a child. They start young.
For a minute there, I swear I was channeling Noah, trying to maintain order on the ark. Which, you know, kind of makes you wonder, what if Noah had a blog?
Oh, I'd read that blog. Can you imagine the posts? Day 40, still haven't figured out whose turn it is to clean the elephant pen?
Or like anyone else dealing with sibling rivalry. Apparently, even sharing a planet isn't enough for some people. It just goes to show, no matter what your arc looks like, whether it's a house, an apartment, or a giant boat, parenting is parenting.
Exactly. And finding those points of connection, those echoes across time, that's where the humor lies. Not in making fun of the source material, but in recognizing how universal these experiences truly are.
Speaking of universal experiences, let's turn it over to you, our listeners. What modern parenting moments do you think would make for hilarious or even insightful biblical comparisons?
Think about it. What would "thou shalt not steal" sound like if it was about swiping your brother's toys?
Or trying to get out of bedtime? You think those ancient parents didn't hear just 5 more minutes?
I'm willing to bet King Solomon himself had to deal with a picky eater or two in his time.
Exactly. So we challenge you, dear listeners, take a classic Bible story, give it a modern parenting twist. Who knows, you might just create the next great meme.